Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker. Shut up, I'm talking.
Shut up, I'm talking.
There you go. And I'll leave in that little chuckle. I'm going to ask you up front, for the love of God, turn that goddamn phone off.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. All right, it is now off.
I heard that. Boom! I knew what
I
the
forgot.
fuck that was. Goddamn phone. So, an interesting week at work. I now have to wear a surgical mask the entire time I'm there, and that's not where it stops. They're implementing something new this week because they say the surgical mask just isn't enough. So, starting this week, we're going to wear the surgical mask, a ball gag, nipple clamps, ball extenders, butt plugs, and a full gimp suit. Safety first. I did, a couple weeks ago, I did submit my podcast, Buffoonery, to iHeartRadio to get on their podcast downloads.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard
I'm
back.
sure it was rejected. Of course it was rejected.
Why would it be rejected?
Because it's complete shit. That's why.
Oh, fuck you. You haven't even listened.
And I heard enough.
Have you listened yet?
No, I wasn't on it. That's what I heard.
And that's why on all the early episodes of this show, Shut Up, I'm Talking, we're going to be playing clips from my show, Buffoonery, so that you'll hear it.
Oh, thank you.
Whether you like it or not, dick.
And people will think the same thing. Oh, he's not even on it. Why would I listen to this?
Yes, they're all going to think.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to think.
Matt, this guy I've never heard of.
Exactly.
Wasn't on it.
Why isn't he on there?
Why would I listen if Matt isn't on?
That fucker is funny.
You know, Paul Calhoun isn't on the show either.
Yeah, and you know why? And
Why?
you never heard of him. That's why, because he's never been on the show.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. With logic like that, you can't lose.
Exactly.
I hope Paul Calhoun's
served
listening.
me well.
Served you well?
Yeah.
You haven't examined your life very closely, have you?
Why would I do that? That's just asking for trouble. I have made so many questionable decisions in my life.
I was thinking about this the other day. So I've known you since I was a little kid. I was probably like 9 or something when I first met you.
I believe so, yeah.
Something like that. But we didn't really become friends until, I'm not sure how old I was, 19 or 20?
Again, I'm saying yes. Okay. No, you were both. No, it was before you were 21. Because remember, you couldn't drink. Let's tell that story. You turning 21, where you went to the good guys, and that guy said you were old as shit.
But you just gave the whole story away. You are quite the storyteller.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, we can do it over. Yeah, we started hanging when you were about 20, I think.
Because that
or
was
19 or somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the lines.
So, because we'll say 20.
It starts to blur after a while. I don't know.
After about 3 days.
Yeah.
Because when we went to Good Guys the first time, when you gave me that horrible advice.
What horrible advice.
That they'd let me in. The fact that I forgave you for that is amazing.
Forgave me for what?
That horrible advice. Anyway,
what horrible advice?
All right, so our friendship started like this. It was a cold night. We were both out in the elements. It was like Empire Strikes Back, where I just cut you open and slept inside you. So it was my cousin Mike's bachelor party, and it was taking place where I lived at the time, a farm in Nokesville, Virginia. Look it up.
Yeah, do it now.
So eventually, we did as much as we were going to do there, and it was decided that everybody was going to go to Good Guys in Georgetown, D.C. I was underage, so I'm going, hey, I can't go there, and I was fully prepared to stay back. And then you give me the greatest advice ever. You go, man, they're not going to check your ID. Come on, you'll be fine. Let's go. So we get in the vehicle. We travel all the way into D.C. That's probably about a 50-minute drive. And we get
50 or 15?
50.
No, it was not that far.
From Nokesville to Georgetown.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't
You're
lived here in a long time.
20 miles, that's it.
20 miles? Oh my God, you're so fucking high. Anyway, you have no clue. I could look it up, but why bother? It's way farther than that.
It is not farther than that.
That's just insanity. Anyway, so we make our way to Georgetown, to Good Guys.
Historical accuracy.
We go up into the back entrance because it's sexier. We go up the metal stairs, each one sharper than the next, and we get inside, and there, of course, is a bouncer. And he's doing what you said they wouldn't, checking every ID no matter who it is. So it's one after another, and I'm at the back of the line, and I'm going, should I even bother with this? He's going to check it. I'm not of age. So he finally gets to me. He's asked for my ID. I give it to him. On the off chance, he'll just glance at it and move on. And you tell the listening audience what he said.
You are talking about a different time.
No. What other time would there be?
The time where it was your 21st birthday and you finally were able to get in legally.
No, we went to West Virginia.
No.
Yes, we went to West Virginia.
No, you're talking about something else.
It was a snowstorm. We went to West Virginia.
Why would we go to West Virginia in a snowstorm?
My birthday is in February.
I am telling you, man, you're talking about the wrong story.
So you're telling me that I'm misremembering my own life?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
Because you were all excited because you were finally legal to get in there, and we went in there, and this big black dude was asking for IDs, and you showed him your ID, and he said, "You look old as shit."
You're absolutely wrong.
How am I wrong?
First of all, the bouncer wasn't black.
He most certainly was.
Matt, I'm telling you, I promise you, on my 21st birthday, I was in Front Royal. You, me, Mike, Chris, and Aaron. There was a snowstorm. We went to the closest place we could get for strip clubs, which was in West Virginia. And there was one decent one, and all the rest looked like they had hairy chests. I promise you.
Why? I cannot imagine going to West Virginia to go to a strip club.
Front Royal
That sounds insane.
Okay. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. Front Royal, that's where I was on my 21st birthday with all of you. And we didn't go into D.C. There was a snowstorm, and we were actually surprised the strip club was open.
You know what? I'm telling you, this is not correct.
Absolutely wrong. I'm going to tell the story because you don't remember.
Wrong? How can I be wrong? I was there.
There you go, Father Time, whatever. Your old man brain cells are doing you harm. Okay, so I'll tell the story because you don't remember. So we go to Good Guys. I'm not of age. We get to me, the security guy, the bouncer. He takes my ID, he looks at it, and he goes, "You're not even 21." And I have no response. And he goes, he looks at my picture and goes, and looks at me, like, "You look old as shit." Like I should have been of age.
Yeah, I remember I laughed real hard.
Yeah, and then I walked down the stairs, back into the van, and I waited.
Yeah, well, everybody else went in.
And they came out.
Because we already went all the way up there. Why would we not go in there then?
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying, what great advice. You're not of age. They won't check. How did I know?
Didn't they check? They never checked.
Well, they did that night.
No, they did the one time.
And they checked everybody. Not just me. Everybody. You, everybody.
Well, you know what? I stand corrected. I did have that wrong, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
All right. See, I can admit it.
Finally. Good for you. Good for you.
There you go.
That was really the beginning of our friendship. I do remember that same night we had this hammock in the backyard, and you wanted to sit in the hammock, and I was in it, and so you just forcibly removed me and then put your foot on my chest.
I don't remember that either.
And I could clearly not move, and I just went, "All right, well, you win this time."
I don't remember doing that. That's mean.
Doesn't sound at all like you, does it?
No, it doesn't. I don't know where that comes from. Now, see, I'm going to question that one because that just sounds cruel.
Absolutely true. Same night. I went, for a big man, he's rather strong. So then it was, after that, you needed a, what did you call me? Your drum tech.
Yeah, roadie, drum tech, yeah.
Now, I like drum tech better because it sounds like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Not just manual labor. Now, we can get into the rest of that. Mostly it was just moving your drums. And you had your drums, which were already heavy, but you had these in these giant caskets.
Mm-hmm. Custom-made cases, road cases.
Incredibly heavy. And then, hopefully you can remember this part correctly. So you had them in these cases, and we would set up your drums, and you'd go through some sort of a sound check, and then you'd break the drums back down, and then you'd go back home to meditate or whatever you did, wash your balls, and I would stay there.
All of the above. And
I would stay there and watch over your drums. Now, to me, from my memory, I would just sit there and wait for you, and it was no big deal for me. But other people had different viewpoints. That's for you, Matt. It's an opening for you, sir.
Yeah. Yes. You would sit there, and I was paranoid because once we would tear down everything and move it to the side of the stage, because, and I'll just put this out there, we always headlined. Thank you. I would go home and change and, get all spruced up and all that kind of nonsense. And I was always paranoid about my kit being left there. So you would sit there, and I don't know what started it, but someone had asked me, why does that guy always just sit over there and never talk to anyone? I think it was one of the waitresses. And I said, well, he's antisocial or whatever, She's like, well, maybe I should go over and talk to him. And I said, no, you should really leave him alone because he has like social anxieties. He doesn't like people. And he's really he's not used to being out yet. Right? Well, I said, he's not used to being out. Just, you're going to have to leave him alone because he's a little off still. He's been, traumatized.
Almost all of that perfectly accurate.
Yeah. And she's like, traumatized? Why, now she has to know, well, what's wrong with him? I don't, maybe I can help.
Oh.
And then now if I had truly been thinking at the time when she started saying stuff like that, I shouldn't have been a cockblock, and I should have said, yeah, why don't you go over there and help him out?
See?
Give him a little handy in the back room there.
Handy.
But no.
I don't need a handy. I can do that myself.
I didn't come out directly and say that you were in prison. But I just kind of let that sit there for a second,
There was an implication.
There's a very definite implication that you had just been let out of one of those places, and it wasn't a good idea to mess with you.
Prison, asylum, it wasn't specified.
Yeah, and they were like, oh. And then there was another guy sitting in the bar, and of course, they're all tough guys. You get a couple drinks and he don't look that bad, or he doesn't look, the guy must be 80 pounds soaking wet. What's he going to do? And I said, okay. I said, I'm telling you, he is very good with a knife. And the guy went, what? And I said, yeah. I said, you can fuck around with if you want to, but I'm telling you, he is very skilled with a knife.
And that is the plot of every horrible movie that's ever existed. There's always one person that's really skilled with a knife.
Yeah. So they all freaked out. And I'm saying it just because I'm a dick, and I just thought it was funny.
And it was?
It was funny. And oh no, that caused quite the stir. Because maybe not that show, but the next show or soon afterwards. That's the knife guy. Leave him alone. Don't go over there. Because the other guys that were working with the band, like the sound guys and shit, they were terrified to go over and tell you anything. Because they thought you were going to stab them.
And the best part about this is that you never told me this.
No, I never said a word about it.
I had no idea the entire time.
And then I tried to help. And more than one time I said, talking to these dingbats, hey, why don't you go over and talk to him? You like bad boys. He's the baddest one around here. I think I was too good at selling it because then, nobody would go near you.
And I had rock star hair.
Yeah.
Long and flowing.
It was. It flowed right out the back of your head.
Yes, it's all gone now.
But ultimately, it was a good thing because my equipment was never touched or messed with.
It's true.
Which was the objective. So there you go.
So we'll speed through this. We can, in future episodes, I'm sure we'll delve back in the lore. Next time on Shut Up, I'm Talking. Before we were friends, you moved to Los Angeles. How old were you when you moved to Los Angeles?
I was 20.
Wow. You can remember back that far?
Well, it's kind of a guess, but yeah.
So you crashed and burned fast. Okay, so...
Thank you.
You're in Los Angeles.
That is the kind of support I was looking for.
You're in Los Angeles. You're in a hovel.
I feel so much better with that kind of compassion and understanding. Thank you.
And accuracy.
And accuracy. There you go. You're that kid that we get riding along on a bicycle and you just jab a stick to the spokes and just to watch him flip.
Funny every time.
Yeah. You know what? You need a rim shot. That's what you need.
And the current Twin Cities area temperature under partly cloudy skies, 41 degrees. Now back to the Larry King Show. From the nation's capital, the Mutual Broadcasting System presents The Larry King Show. And now, one of America's foremost interviewers, Larry King. I shit my pants last night. I'm good twice a year for that. When was the last time you shit your pants? Been a while? I was in Vegas a couple years ago. This is an honest-to-God true story. Staying at the Bellagio, and I went over to the Mirage for dinner. And I met some friends of mine over there. Went to Kokomo's, a great little steakhouse. This guy brings out some fresh crab legs and says, "These just came in, I gotta give them to you guys." Brings a set and I'm eating them. Then we go gamble a little bit. I had a tea time early in the morning, so I said, "Look, I gotta get going." I'm walking back to the hotel and I get 3/4 of the way out of the lobby, and all of a sudden I go, "Oh, fuck." I'm standing there. I got my butt pinched. I'm fucked. I can't move. I had food poisoning from the crabs. And I'm just standing there and it's running down my leg. I got jeans on, black bucks, no socks. And I just start fucking walking. And every time I walk, something comes out. It's water. Just straight fucking water. Then to show you how sick I was, I'm standing outside and make a call on my cell phone. I call a guy. I said, "Larry, you're not going to believe this. I'm standing outside the lobby of the Bellagio. I can't move. I got shit everywhere. I got shit all over myself." And Larry's about a 48 waist. So he brings me over a pair of his pants and some towels. And he comes over and he meets me. It's 12 o'clock at night. He goes back in and finds the closest bathroom in the lobby of the hotel. And then I get on the escalator. And he pretends like he dropped something so no one gets behind me. He tells me where it is and he goes in there. Goes and gets the towels all wet for me, throws them over the fucking stall. I take off all my fucking clothes, just wipe off. Leave my shoes, my pants, everything right there. The towels just right there in the stall. And I'm walking barefoot with my shirt and with these pants that are 48 waist. Through the lobby at midnight. Got up in the morning and took the most perfect double-tapered shit I'd ever had in my life. True story. Are we back from the break yet?